What's up guys? We're up bright and early to a pretty beautiful looking morning, to be honest. So we're gonna dyno this car today. I just gotten up a bit earlier. I'm gonna get this thing outside and just give it a quick wash, get the mud off the tyres and stuff like that, and make sure that it looks half decent for its big day. I just thought I'd film my first drive of it since we got it rebuilt. It's actually not too bad. All I did this morning was came out, I hit the key, it started first time, and it's just sitting there idling. So it's looking pretty promising. It should be a good day. Get all of this dust off it. Well, we've got no tacho. Not really sure why. It's a bit of an odd one. Here we go. Sort this bloody mirror out. Right, the tune definitely needs some work. Feels pretty good. It's not bad actually. Well, the horn works. The horn it doesn't have. The dust here is just ridiculous. But we're in position. We'll give it a good clean and see how she goes. I have arrived, people. Look how good this car looks. Incredible. So, looks just as good as Rex had envisioned in his brain, and it all came together, and it's all together, and it was fixing to come here, and it came here, and it got here, and here it is. Man, it looks nice when it's clean. So, today's a big day. Gonna tune this big weapon. I was hoping to, after we finish tuning this, I was hoping to get mine out, put it in on the dyno as well, but I think I'll actually make that a separate video because I don't really want mine to be in a video with this thing. It's gonna make it look all sorts of secondhand. But yeah, I gotta get out of the sun. I gotta sell this thing now though. It's too high maintenance for me. Imagine having to shimmy down the engine bay every time you wash it. Ridiculous.
Bit of welder. Looking awesome. Pretty much the 31 is more or less complete. I'll show you the seats. Rex chucked the seats in yesterday afternoon.
A few little trims inside, a couple of little...
Yeah, there's a few little things we still have to do, but for the most part it's finished. Still got to change to the old Grip Royal wheel, which I want to do today. I've got to change the passenger seat. We're not leaving the blue one in there. That's getting swapped out. And just needs a general interior tidy. Maybe some front speakers. Cover them holes. Yeah. I do have some at home. I've got some Kenwoods. But yeah, no, it's looking awesome. The interior's come up a treat. Like I said, it still just needs a bit of a clean, but very happy with this thing. So, hopefully...
Also, I fixed that striker.
Ah, sweet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, she makes good numbers and everything we wanted it to do. So can't ask for much more than that, especially with how it looks. Even if it doesn't go that great, it's going to be really nice in someone's garage. It's a really, really nice garage ornament now, at least. But nah, it's going to be really nice, functioning, powerful drift car. And can you imagine this is a street car? Imagine rocking up to a car show in this 31, the way it's sitting. We still got to, oh, that's the other thing we've got to fix is the actual ride height. It's not sitting right, it's sitting a little bit higher on this side on the front, and it's sitting way higher on that side on the rear. So, a few ride height issues we've got to fix, but just imagine rolling up to a car show or a meet in this thing and popping the bonnet. People would be very surprised, I think. I must say the paint is quite nice, Rex. Done well.
Thanks.
Looks really, really nice. There is a few like imperfections, but you can only see them if you're really looking.
The guard. I like
again,
the guards.
again, it's a track car. Like you expect to have imperfections. Even as a street car, it's still extremely tidy. And by no means, you've seen, we're not professional painters. We sort of paint as a bit of a hobby. We sort of enjoy it. Well, Dad definitely enjoys it, so he's passed that sort of on to us. So we paint because we like to, but we're not professionals, and honestly this paint has come out really, really nice. It's really, really good. So I tried to catch it as best I could in those short clips in that little compilation sort of thing I did. But yeah, this thing is looking minty. Minty. And the TI front just looks tough as, I love it.
Yeah.
So we really need to get another front bar. Keep forgetting to talk to Liam. I've got to talk to Liam about it. But. Worth the effort, arguably. We'll ask Rex, was it worth the effort?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure anymore.
Oh, we'll find out. Anyway.
I've been that over it the last couple of days that I just couldn't be...
Yeah, but surely getting it out and doing this makes you happy.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the rest of the day goes.
Alright, we're going to go down and have something to eat, and we'll come back up and we'll get her on the rollers, and we'll start the day, I suppose. Start sorting out how we're going to go. Pretty exciting. Also, just an update on the engine room whole deal. I've been talking to a few Friggy mates of mine about what happened with our aircon unit, because we want to get it regassed because well, basically from what I've been talking to them, is we did not follow any sort of correct procedure as far as disconnecting and reconnecting the aircon unit. So I guess we should probably just stick to cars and not be refrigerator mechanics, because we didn't do it right, and now we've learnt that it's actually R32 refrigerant, which has been phased out for like 10 years, so it's pretty much impossible to get it regassed. So looks like because we're stupid and we didn't follow the correct procedures, we're going to be up for a new aircon unit, which is less than ideal. But anyway, you get that when you're in a hurry and you're trying to do everything yourself. Ow.
Grip Royal.
Look at that. It's pretty close. Pretty close match. So I'm going to whack this in while we're sort of waiting. Rex has just started playing with some tables, so he's copied all my maps off my Microtech and he's just comparing them to what's in this one. Just sort of, we're super eager to get in this thing and start tuning it. The only thing is we just don't want to power any of this up yet until we know that it's not going to explode, because we may have hooked something up wrong or something. So we're pretty sure it's all right, but we're just waiting until he gets here to sort of just make sure that it's not going to blow up when we turn it on, because that would make us really, really mad. But as soon as that's all going and on, it's going to be all systems go. Yeah, I don't know about this wheel, eh? I still reckon it looks pretty stupid. I still reckon color-coded wheels just look dumb. I can't bring myself to really love them. I can't, like, it just... It's the same color as the car, which is cool, but as soon as you put it in that interior where nothing else is white, it just looks retarded. I don't know, I don't quite like it. Yeah, like a sore thumb. So the reason we're doing this sort of by comparison is because we have no idea what what car this ECU was in, or what motor it was running beforehand.
Well,
So
I was told it was a VL turbo, I think.
oh,
If it was like, this is 4 years ago now, but I think it was running a VL turbo. But I don't know what injectors it had or anything. So.
yeah, okay. Well, a lot of the maps are very different to mine, which you'd sort of expect a lot of them to be very similar, considering that's meant to be a very similar engine, or the same engine pretty much. So that's why we're sort of going through and just comparing and changing a few things, trying to bring things sort of up the specs, so we've got a pretty good place to start at. And yeah, go from there and fuel and timing and make sure everything's sweet. So this thing's running much better now that we've Rex has had a play with the maps. Sort of got it to a point where it's a lot happier, it seems. I brought mine around, just going to get all the dust off it. It's still clean from the other day when I gave it a wash. It's just dusty because obviously I didn't put it back down under the tree, so I didn't get all dirty again. I've been putting it out the back under the cover, so still clean, just dusty. So just quick going to get all the dust off. I'm gonna chuck it in the hoist bay and finally put my TI wheels back on the back. And because obviously these are getting a bit low on tread now after my other escapade up the other day. So I'll put my new tyres on my TI wheels on for the dyno, and yeah, I'd be keen to sort of see, I don't know yet if I'll make a different video. I mean, you can see what they look like in comparison to each other. The white one is yeah, a whole different car. I still really like the stock look of this thing with the TI wheels and that, but you look at this front fitment compared to Rex's, and yeah, you can certainly, this car's much more aggressive, much better looking. Definitely one of the best looking 31s I've ever witnessed, for sure. Yeah, really liking it. So, but anyway, I'll chuck this in the hoist bay and do that. And yeah, if we get time this afternoon, I'll chuck it on the dyno and maybe put it in the same video. At least then you can see who sounds better. But I did say yesterday's video that I was meant to be having Zach Baldy out tomorrow to start on his 33, but that's not the case now because he wants to go to downshift. So he's not coming out until Saturday now, so that gives me an extra day tomorrow to make some videos with this thing that I wanted to make before it goes. I want to do a build breakdown, a little bit of stuff like that, so it gives me tomorrow to sort that out, which is going to be cool. And then we'll get stuck into Zach's 33 on Saturday, and hopefully today or tomorrow these people send me some money as a deposit. They've been talking to me for a long time now. They really want the car apparently. I don't know why it's taken so long, but as long as it comes out and eventuates. I don't know if maybe they're stalling because of this whole coronavirus thing. I don't know if it might have affected their plans for a holiday. So, you know, it might have changed when they can come or if they can come. So, yeah, I don't know if they're just sort of waiting to see what's going on there, but I'm sure I'll find out this week. Hopefully this week, otherwise I'm going to keep pushing to advertise it because I need it sold. The two 31s back together. The PICs, partners in crime, the OG 31s. Me and Rex have had these two cars for a long time. And ironically, we've only ever driven them at the track at the same time once, and that was for a few laps before Rex blew it up for the first Matsuri that he went to. For both of us went to, really, so. So, a nice, tidy engine bay. We'll come over here to mine, which is not as tidy. Still nice, but very busy. Look how different the coil lead management is. Like how much a difference that makes. This engine bay is very, very busy. Anyway, here I am at the start of the video saying I didn't want to put them next to each other because you could pick them apart. And here I am literally pointing out all the things I don't like about it to you. The other thing I'm going to do with mine is top it up with oil because I'm pretty sure when I did the clutch, I might have filled the engine when it was on the engine stand. I can't remember, I think that's what I did. And I never topped it up after I ran it and got it like the oil cooler full and all that sort of stuff. So I actually need to top up my oil before it goes on the dyno. Last thing I want to do is run it out of oil. The first time I've had it on a hoist in pretty much since I changed the clutch and did the sump. And look at that, not a drop from the sump plug. How mint is that? The only thing is this fitting, as I suspected, does weep just a little, but it's not dripping. It just, obviously it gets a bit of oil condensation, like it must weep through somewhere. But honestly, it's not that bad. It's not worth doing anything about really, because it's not actually, it doesn't drip, it just weeps. So yeah, apart from that, I just tied up my lines up here so they don't, because they were actually sort of starting to hang down a bit. Don't want them to get caught on anything, so I've stainless tied them up to the cross member, up to the back there, so that they are nice and up out of the way and secure. Obviously, one of the things with being low, got to look for. But yeah, just a sanity check, look under the car. Like the exhaust has copped a bit of a beating. The frame rails are starting to cop it. Yeah, the cross member, you can see where the cross member is sort of scraping. You can even see where this new sump actually has sort of dragged in a few places. So if I wasn't selling the car, at this point I would definitely be considering raising the car now. Yeah, I would certainly be doing something like that. So. But you know, it is a track car. It is meant to be a bit of a beater, I suppose. Next to Rex's now, it definitely looks like a beater. Still a really nice setup track car. However, if these people from New Caledonia buy it, I'm selling it to them for $6.5 we've agreed on. And that's me delivering it to them to Archerfield. So if they get it for that money, they've done pretty well, I reckon. It's a pretty well set up car for that sort of money, especially with all the new things that are on it as well. Brand new clutch, that new catch can setup. It's apart from the rings being not that great and it having quite a bit of blow-by, which as I continue to maintain and tell you people, the blow-by is not a detrimental issue. It is not going to kill the car having blow-by, and it sort of, again, it keeps it safe with high boost, high revs, big punishment, and it's going to be safe. So it's not that big of a deal. Could do with new rings, but it's still a nice, safe car to beat around in. We are set up on rollers. Everything was set up mint, we would have been fine, but nice to have that little bit of a surety.
It's plugged into the inlet. Yeah, sweet. But yeah, you don't have to.
So, just setting all the little computer things up now. 31's been warmed up. As you can see, I set up this screen here just to make it easy to see from the driver's side, the driver's seat. Makes it nice and easy to see what you're doing. And yeah, we'll start getting into this thing pretty soon.
I'm expecting you to chop this out within 3 seconds. So it's be squeezed, be about 5 pounds.
Yep.
It'll start coming up till you're flat, and then let it go. Bang. Whoop. That's it. As soon as we got a decent boost, obviously ramped up hard, we lost fuel.
Sorry, didn't really do a lot of filming, especially while Shane is here, just sort of trying to soak up as much information as we could. But everything was really good. It's really nice to have Shane here all day, and sort of just felt like it really just solidified everything we already knew. So definitely on the right track, had everything hooked up properly, so everything's sort of sweet. So Shane's gone now. We did have boost control issues. We're having massive boost control issues with the setup. Obviously, must be something with that gate, we're thinking. So it is just it's a tile copy, 44mm, and you can see we're having massive boost spikes. There's not really any boost control at all. The other thing we're having issues with is with the Microtech. It's not actually, it doesn't seem to be actually going into any of the wide open throttle maps, or the like the cruise map or the idle map. It seems to just stay in the load map the whole time, and we have not been able to figure out why, or get it to actually drop into any of those other maps at any load points. So that's been a pain, but we sort of just solved it on, we're using the load map just to tune it. which was, you know, everything was sweet. All the solid state stuff was fine, and feel like the tune's pretty good. It's just, we just need to get boost under control to finish that higher sort of load areas. But it is looking promising. As you can see with this boost spikes, you can see how crazy this has gotten just with boost spikes. But that was 24 pound we ended up hitting, 26? 26 pounds. So at 26 pound we made 360. So that's 360 wheel at 26. We're planning on running it on about 22, 24. And that's obviously before we've even got to timing. So, you know, that's just boost. We haven't really put any timing in it yet. So it is looking pretty promising to make that sort of 360 at 22 with a bit of timing. So we're pretty on the money with what we thought. We're going to get this thing off the dyno now. Rex is going to put it on the hoist because it's also making real bad clunking as you sort of load it up. Now, if you remember, when I finished my car, I took it to Queensland Raceway for its first shakedown. I had the same thing. Every time I take off to go for a run, it would be clunk, 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 like dunk, dunk. It was a real bad sort of clunking hitting the floor. What that turned out to be was the new center bearing that I put in it, the rubber surround that actually holds the center bearing centered in the like the tail shaft loop, was absolutely trash. And as soon as it got some heat in it from some rotation, that bearing, the rubber just went soft and you could move it around. It was cooked. I have a suspicion that Rex has done the exact same thing. If you remember, my solution to that was a few wraps of high density rubber to shove in the horseshoe of the center bearing rubber, which made it almost just like a solid block of rubber, is what fixed my issue. So we are convinced that Rex has done the same thing. So between that and the wastegate issue we think we're having, we need to pull that wastegate off and investigate why we're having this boost creep issue. So that's easy to do on the hoist. So at the moment we are going to swap cars around. Going to put mine on the dyno, start ramp it up, have a see sort of what that's doing. Again, that tune should be pretty good. The AFRs that I've noticed when driving are always solid, so I don't think there's going to be much work to be done to that tune, just a little bit of cleanup. So shouldn't be a lot of time spent on that, and then Rex can chuck this on the hoist, and once it cools down, he can have a look at what's wrong with this wastegate. I don't know if you remember watching the episode where Rex actually sorted out the screamer and the wastegate, but when he took the wastegate apart, the diaphragm was actually folded over on itself. So the diaphragm had not been put completely inside the seal ring of the gate. So it could be that that diaphragm might be sort of folded or not quite right, and it might just be bleeding off a little bit of pressure through the diaphragm into the top part of the gate, and that may be why it's sort of getting that all over the shop. But again, we just got to sort of pull it apart and make sure. The other thing is, when Rex was doing that was the episode where the power kept coming in and out. So not only was that how the gate was when he took it apart, but pretty sure he also put it back together in the dark with a head torch. So yeah, we need to pull that off and just see what's going on there. But overall day, as far as the dyno and tuning, it was good to have, awesome to have Shane here to take us through it all again. But same thing is, we've sort of got a handle on it pretty good, and stoked, can't wait. Can't wait to just be doing this all the time, you know. All right, so we chucked mine on, ran it up a little bit, and turns out I'm out of fuel. So car's pretty much dead empty of fuel, which is a pain in the bum, but it's a little bit too late for me to go and get some now and come back. You know, I've got to head off fairly soon, so it'll be a bit of a pointless exercise. So I will take a jerrycan with me and grab a few litres in the morning on the way through, and I'll continue this tomorrow. But what we are doing, what we're currently tuning, Rex's and mine both, we're taking off the rising rate reg reference, just for the simple fact that, well, Rex's is a SARD, but you never know if they're genuine. And this, I know, is just a cheap Chinese thing. So if it's cheap and Chinese and we can't ensure that it's genuine or a good part, you know, being Chinese, you've always got that diaphragm that's always opening and closing all the time when it's boost referenced, and it's got fuel over it and it's Chinese and just made of crap. Chances are it's going to fail one day and it's going to just suck in heaps of fuel, and then you're going to have not enough pressure to, you know, feed the map. It's going to be a problem. So we are, you know, tuning without regards to the boost referenced regulator, just to try and keep it, that diaphragm, from always opening and closing and potentially failing in future, especially considering we're both selling these cars. So, you know, these cars are going to have our names on them. We're going to be the ones who have tuned them. We don't want to sell them and have that regulator shit itself and shit the motor. So that's not what we want. But taking that off, it seems to be, it wasn't too far off. It was pretty close. It was missing and carrying on, which as we come to the conclusion it was running out of fuel, makes a lot of sense. So it was probably, you know, running out of fuel, picking up crap from the tank, misfiring, playing up, to the point where it actually got low enough that fuel pressure started to drop off. So fuel pressure started to drop off, then that's when it clicked that it's probably out of fuel because I haven't put fuel in it in quite a while. So I'll put some fresh 98 in the morning and we'll continue that. Rex is going to sort out the problems with his, and again, tomorrow afternoon, we'll get it back on the rollers and get it happening. We've got our mate bringing out his Maloo tomorrow, which Rex has to take back to Brisbane. Not the car, him. And pick up an exhaust from Brisbane and bring it back.
Bringing it out just so I can take it back.
Yeah. So Rex has got to do that in the morning, but he'll be back out in the afternoon. So in the morning, I'll have a play around with this and try and get it all perfect. And then in the afternoon, when Rex gets back, we can chuck his on there. Hopefully by then we've sorted out all our issues with the wastegate and everything, and see what sort of power it's going to make. So my predictions, for all you playing at home, you're welcome to put your predictions down in the comments, because by the time you see this, we'll already know. So that'll be cool for you to sort of see what's going on. But my predictions is for mine, I reckon on 9 PSI, I reckon 240 at the treads. And Rex's at 22 PSI, I'm predicting 360 at the treads. It's my predictions. You're welcome to put your guesses in the comments and we'll see who was closest. Well, if I had any stickers or anything made, I would offer them as a prize, but I don't. All right, how's this? I promise you a sticker for whoever gets closest, each of them. And when I get some made, I don't know when that's going to be because I'm super broke at the moment, but when I get some made, I will send you your sticker if you get it right. That's probably going to be it for us today. Tune back in again tomorrow, see what power we actually made. So we look forward to seeing you then. Have a good afternoon and we'll catch you later.